Hi guys, welcome back. I am finally posting a new YouTube video. So the idea of this evening is just to really talk you through where I've been, what's been going on, give you guys a bit of a reason as to why there's been a big gap in the content that we've been making, and generally just fill you guys back in so that we're all starting again from the same place. Let me start by just saying thank you so much to all of those who have already subscribed. I think people sometimes take it for granted, but for me, it's such a massive, massive deal that so many of you are interested in what I'm doing and what I'm putting out, and it's way more than I ever thought it would be. And so honestly, bottom of my heart, thank you so much for that. Really, it's the reason I'm still doing it. If I'm honest, it got to a point, especially back end of last year, when it was all just becoming a little bit difficult with everything else that was going on. But actually, I feel a massive obligation and responsibility to continue to make this content, because there's enough of you that are actually enjoying it enough to say, yeah, I want some more of it. I've had loads of messages come in and different people saying, you know, where have you been? Are you okay? And so, yeah, let me start by saying, yes, I am all right. Mainly life just got busy. But I'll get more into that in a second. Let me take you back to when we started the channel and one of the main reasons why we did it. Because to me, it was all about an honest reflection of what it is that we do day to day, what goes into running a business like what I do, and just having some fun with it and picking up little bits and maybe helping some people. The main reason that I started it was actually because at the time I was in a very dark place, and a friend of mine said to me, look, why don't you try vlogging or something like nature? And I thought, oh, yeah, that's not for me, that's for somebody else. But I thought, okay, look, I'm in this place, very, very low mood, severe depression, lots of other stuff going on. And I said, well, at the moment, by this point, I'm thinking, to be honest with you, I will try anything. I don't see why anybody would be interested to hear what's going on in my life, but here we are and people are. So keeping in mind that level of honesty that we want to maintain, I was in a very, very dark place, to the point where my depression was so low, or my mood was so low, that I was at times just going to work, pretending everything's okay, phoning up my jobs for that day, cancelling them, and then sitting in the van in a car park all day, because that's where I was at. Being brutally honest, that was where I was at. And I needed to get out of that for obvious reasons. Mainly, you know, if you don't work, I don't make any money. And it wasn't long before things like merchant bills were coming in and tax bills were coming in, and I simply didn't have the money for it. So something drastic needed to change. So I had like a three-pronged attack to this. The first one is YouTube. So having the ability to look back and have other people comment and say, that's amazing, like what you've done there is really good, and I'd never thought of doing it like that, and the way you've done it is really smart, and all these amazing pieces of feedback that I've been getting are a huge, huge help for my mental state, and certainly have been for the duration of how long I've been doing this. The other thing was I was involved in therapy, and I was on antidepressants. Or rather, I am still on antidepressants. And I have to say that there is a huge stigma around mental health, and I am very, very keen to fight that, because actually the help that I have received through therapy and antidepressants and YouTube and support of friends and family, when I've actually been honest with people about where I'm at and how I'm feeling, has been huge. And it has been so incredibly life-changing, which is apparent in more ways than one, but mainly where I'm at today. I mean, the difference of where I am today compared to last year is huge. To be honest with you, I literally am a different person. So the reason I'm telling you that is because I want to be honest about all of this, and I am not arrogant enough to think that I'm the only person who is struggling with this stuff. And what I would say to anybody who is struggling with this, and I think low mood, stress levels are really high, just talk to people. Talk to people, talk to me if you want, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your GP. You know, there are so many different ways that, especially as men, we think we don't need the help. Nah, we'll be all right, we'll get through it. But actually we do. And sometimes you don't realize how much help you need until you start getting help and being involved in it and being honest with yourself and being honest with the people around you. So that's where I was at. I started this YouTube channel and it was going really well and I was really enjoying it. And then life got very, very busy. One of the main things that I wanted to do last year was to take somebody on more than anything else to keep me accountable. Okay, so the point being that if I wanted to just go and sit in the car park, or I didn't want to go to work, or I just wanted to just go and do nothing, that becomes more difficult if you've got people around you who are phoning you saying, what have you been up to today? What are you doing today? What are we doing today? What have we got going on, etc., etc. So I took Sam on, who you've met, who has been absolutely brilliant. As any apprentice, it goes up and down, and you have days when you want to shake him, and you have days when you want to give him a pay rise. But he's been brilliant throughout this whole thing. He's so keen to learn, and for me, that was the biggest thing. I wanted somebody who, with a head on their shoulders, who was keen to learn. So my biggest thing that I would say to any apprentices out there who are struggling to find placements, who are not understanding why it's not happening, for me, you need to show willingness to learn. That is the big deal. The ability to say, okay, cool, look, I'm here to learn. Please show me, please explain to me. Literally is all that I was looking for. And it's what I found. And Sam has been brilliant, and he's developed a huge amount, and he's doing really well. Going forward from that, I've always wanted a business partner, always. Mainly because I know myself. I know that I work very well with other people, more so than myself. And it keys into that whole accountability level and keeping people honest and keeping the business honest and understanding that I have my limitations as a person and as a business owner. And so trying to find that person who will mesh with me and we can build something spectacular. That's a difficult thing to find. It's very, very difficult to find somebody who has the same vision and the same mission and the same drive and all the rest of it. But in the probably late spring, early summer, I found somebody. Now, I'm not going to name names because of what I'm about to explain to you. But effectively, we were all ready to go. We were starting to do some work together and it was going really well. Now, we started having the difficult conversations that you need to have whenever you're starting this sort of arrangement. And a couple of little things weren't sitting right with me and ultimately with him as well. And it fell apart. But I had put in an awful lot of work and an awful lot of time to try and make this work. And that was basically when my YouTube started to stall, because I was in a place where I was still working like a madman, but also trying to get this thing going, get this thing off the ground, this partnership. And then when it didn't work out, I was gutted. Honestly, I was absolutely gutted because I had seen this vision of what we could do and what we could make, but it didn't happen. A whole array of reasons. In the end, I think it was for the best. The characters, more than anything else, didn't mesh. And what he wanted, I couldn't give or didn't want to give. And what I wanted, he didn't want to give. So in the end, it was a real learning experience for me because I had thrown myself in fully into this endeavor. And then when it didn't work out, I was in a bit of a pickle, if I'm honest. I'd given him clients, I'd been working for him, and then didn't get paid for that work, and it was all a bit of a mess. So then that happened. What it did do, the main thing I took from that whole experience was actually that, I can do this on my own. So what I thought I needed other people for, actually, with a little bit of confidence, I was able to do just me on my own. So what I did from there is I went on and I found Chris. So Chris now works with us. At the moment it's me, Sam and Chris, and I have changed the way we're running business. I'm taking things a lot more seriously. I now spend much more time in the office, where you see me now. taking much more of a managerial role and trying to step back from the tools a little bit. So what that meant was, okay, fine, I will go and do all the gas work, and I will do all the oil work, and I will go and do all the sign-offs and the gas safety checks and all that sort of stuff, which is fine, and it has been working. The problem is that I've been so busy that actually I think I was in the office 2 days in December, something like that, and maybe 3 days in November. So what that's meant is that yes, the business is doing really well and we're flying and it's amazing, but then I came into the office the other day and realised that I had £13,000 worth of invoicing outstanding because I haven't been on top of it. And this is the crux of this issue, right? Because anybody who runs this type of business, a small business, will understand that you are running with several different hats on, and you are constantly trying to juggle between being on the tools and getting the jobs done and getting the work in and managing that and managing your diary, managing your cash flow, keeping your accounts rolling correctly, VAT returns, tax returns, all this sort of stuff it's a real challenge trying to juggle all those roles. Ultimately, I didn't manage it in November and December. Work was so busy, and we were absolutely flying, and that's amazing. And I don't want to, sound ungrateful or anything like that for the amount of work we've had. That's so good. But I need to be better at managing it. So in terms of this year and where we're going for this year, I am looking to take somebody else on. So I'm looking to take on at least one more gas engineer. Ultimately, I want to try and employ 3 people this year, 2 gas engineers and 1 plumber. Or potentially another apprentice, depending on how well Sam gets on, which is amazing for me because that's something I've always wanted to do. And it's something I've always been quite excited to do, but it's quite a scary thing. My overheads have gone up threefold because of everything else that we're doing, and vehicles and software managing apps. So one of the things I have done is I have started using Traderify, which I would recommend to anybody, even if you are just a one-man band on your own. I would highly, highly recommend Traderify. I have been blown away by how much time it is saving me and how efficient it is making this whole process. Yes, I'm in a little bit of a teething period at the moment in terms of understanding when I need to say no to work, which is a big deal, which I think I'm not good at. And also juggling different people with different needs, and holiday and time off and days off sick, and when you've got a full diary and then one of them turns around and says, "Oh, I can't come in today." That's a whole different ball game, and something I'm learning and I'm really enjoying being a part of. So that is one of the things that I'm looking forward to this year, is expanding the business organically, growing my team, and getting to a point where I feel that we're running efficiently. On that note, guys, if you are interested in coming to work with us, or you're currently looking for a role, like I said to you, I'm looking for 2 gas engineers and 1 plumber, maybe an apprentice. But if you're interested, whatever stage of life you're at or your career you're at, drop me a DM or drop me an email, and I'd love to get in touch with you and we can talk about whether we fit. So we work in the Berkshire and Buckinghamshire area, anything sort of SL or HP postcodes, that's us. The second thing that I'm really, really keen to do is to keep this YouTube channel going. Now, for me, it was one of those things where I never, ever did this as a money-making thing. Like I said to you at the beginning, it was a therapy tool for me more than anything else. But I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy making the videos. I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy looking through all the comments and being a part of the YouTube community, for want of a better word. All these other plumbers who are doing these YouTube channels are all brilliant, amazing people. It's been really, really refreshing to have this team of people who I've never met before actually be so interested in what we're doing and so interested in what I'm trying to build that all they want to do is help. And I love that. And I've been so grateful for that. Yes, we have negative comments. Every channel has negative comments. And I don't mind that to a degree. Positive, constructive criticism, I have got no issue with. I have never said and will never say that I'm the best plumber in the world and that I've got everything worked out. I actually think anybody who says that they know everything is talking out their arse. If I'm honest, every day is different. There's new products coming out every day. There's new processes being released. There's new technology being developed. We have to stay at the forefront of that. So I'm all for constructive criticism. People saying, look, I don't really like the way you've done that. This is how I do it. And I've a couple of little bits, I've had that and I've gone, that makes a lot of sense. I'm now going to implement that. I'm now going to start doing that. No issue with that at all. In fact, actually, I want to actively encourage that. What I am not looking for is personal attacks on me. Comments such as, you don't know what you're doing, you're talking out your ass. Comments on my appearance. I ain't got time for that. Now, that's a little bit of, yeah, you're going to get that. It's the sad truth. But every YouTuber I talk to is getting trolled. Every video, there's always at least one or two people who are obviously having a shit day or whatever else, and they've just decided to take it out on you. For me, I'm like, look, if you're one of those people who wants to leave one of those comments, just DM me. Let's talk about it. Let's find out what's going on with your life. Let's find out why you've decided to attack me for whatever reason. For me, people are what is important. So if you guys are in that situation, especially if you're having mental health problems, if you're feeling low or anything that I've said today has resonated with you, then come back to me, talk to me, because I would love to be able to help somebody else come out of the situation that I have found myself in. So that is what I'm looking to do. I want to grow the business. I want to grow the YouTube to the point where I'm able to affect change in more people's lives. And mainly, we want to have a good year. Anyway, I hope that you haven't just felt like I've been ranting at you this entire time. There's no plumbing in this video. It's literally just me being brutally honest about where I'm at, where I want to go, and I'm hoping you guys can come with me. As always, any comments, please feel free, drop them below. Drop the video a like if you enjoy what I'm doing and if you enjoy the honesty that I'm bringing. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys very, very soon, I promise. And I hope you guys had a great Christmas, a great New Year's. Let's have a great